Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM, and now we welcome back to the radio Kathy Spiers, Chair of the Paraparaumu Raumati Community Board. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, John.
You told us last week about the revocation process on State Highway 1. There's some real work going on there, isn't there?
Yes, there certainly is. So we had an update at our community board meeting last week. So from Poplar Ave to Ihakara Street, this work will be completed by the end of December between Poplar Ave and Ihakara Street. The new stormwater infrastructure will be in place. The curbs and channel will be done. The new footpath and the road narrowing and resurfacing will be completed, as will the cycle lane. So that's quite a bit of work going on down there, but they said as they were doing the digging up, putting the infrastructure in for the stormwater and that, there's a lot of water, very, very nice, clear water that, there's one, so it runs off the hills, so it's the aquifers coming, the water coming down from the hills. So, but so there's a lot of water under there.
So this is running underneath the road and therefore underneath the footpath that's going in?
Yes, but they're putting in the new infrastructure that will, sort all out that stormwater. But he just commented on how much water there is there.
So all of this is going to be done by December? By December,
end of December this year, yes. So that will make a huge difference for people down there, especially with the cycleway completed and resurfacing of the road, and they're going to narrow the road as well. And I guess in time it will come to the community board about the reducing the speed limit down there at some point in time.
And the bridge to nowhere over the expressway is now going somewhere. Makes sense now.
Absolutely. Then by winter 21, so by winter next year, they will have the roundabout done on the corner of Ihakara, the roundabout at Raumati Road, Raumati Road intersection. They'll have the roundabout done, and the traffic lights will be completed at the Ihakara Street intersection.
Okay.
So then it's on to Paraparaumu Village.
Kathy, why do you think we need traffic lights at Ihakara Street when we don't need them now?
Well, see, some of the issues is, and people have wanted a pedestrian crossing. When Spotlight went in Ihakara Street, some people were asking us that they needed a pedestrian crossing to go across to, and you've got the Salvation Army across there and some other places. They were wanting a pedestrian crossing. But, of course, with the entrance to Coastlands there, next to Briscoe's, it was not safe to put a pedestrian crossing around that. And the feeling was at the time that they were putting in traffic lights and people could walk up and go across the crossing there and then back down. But also, in the future, of course, Ihakara Street is going to go right through to Arapoto Road, at least.
Yes.
So I'm picking that why they've got the opportunity that they will be putting in the traffic lights.
So this has got nothing to do directly with the revocation process?
Well, it has, but I guess that NZT are paying for this, so why wouldn't we do it at this point in time?
Okay. But it's something that is not really made necessary by the revocation process. It's a convenient way of getting it done.
Well, that's my assumption of it. But I think the increase in traffic will happen once Ihakara Street goes through. So I guess it's forward thinking.
Indeed. Okay, well, that all makes a lot of sense. I must say I'm rather surprised about the timeline. The thing is, of course, if it's not done by December, then we get into a holiday period, and it could really limp on for months after that. So let's hope it does happen by then.
Absolutely, yes. So that's what they said, end of December, the first part will be completed, so that's good. And then after winter 2021, it's on to around the village area, around Coastlands and Mohill Street and all around there, because there was talk of having another pedestrian crossing coming from the railway station across to Coastlands.
Really?
It was going to go to head towards Kapiti Lights, where the shops are there, but it's all to do with the distance between the other pedestrian crossing at the lights and the vision that you can see coming around the corner.
Is this on Remy Road we're talking about? Or?
No, this is on opposite the railway station.
On State Highway 1?
The old State Highway 1. Yeah, the current, yes.
When we've already got the tunnel?
Yes.
Very interesting.
And that's still under discussion as I understand it, but they may have to bring it towards when you go out the entrance of Coastlands heading north next to the subway. They may be closing that off and using that part as a pedestrian crossing. But they're still designing that, and I think there's still a lot of conversation to go on around where that will actually be.
Oh, I find this really interesting that you're keeping us up to date with these comings and goings. Well, one of the things that has come is the beach bylaw. Have you had much reaction from the public yet on what's been proposed?
Yes, I have. I've had a couple of phone calls, especially from some gentlemen living down Manly Street North, concerned around the closing off of that entrance to boats. People down there, there's about between 10 and 20 residents who just take their boats down there and go out fishing from there. And of course, if we have the one gentleman said, he didn't want to go, all the way to Kapiti Boating Club and go through there and drive all the way back up the beach. Well, of course, he will not be allowed to drive all the way back up the beach. Yes. So there's a concern there. And it's just, and of course, we're having our meeting tonight, our pop-up session at the Senior Citizens Hall in Blue Gum Ocean Road in Paraparaumu Beach.
Right.
6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we would really like as many people. I know some people are already coming along. We'll have lots of information, fact sheets, the proposal which sets out what council intends to do. But I've also had comments. That's a proposal. Comments from people saying, well, there's not a lot wrong with the beach bylaw. So why is all this carrying on? And of course, there's people with disabilities, which I have a great concern about, and I don't think council's finalised it yet how they can access the beach, whether it's through swipe card or your cell phone or quite how, if they put a barrier up at the boating club. Because I do know, and I've spoken to a couple of people who have disabilities but are not eligible for a mobility card,
right,
and would also like to drive on the beach because of their disability. They cannot walk very far.
Yes.
So,
well, there's a lot of people around who can't walk very far.
That's right.
And this is something that's going to be lasting for about 10 years or so. So
Absolutely.
we better future-proof this. You and I both know, Kathy, that the rate of disability increases as you get older. We are getting older. We're living longer, but possibly we're not moving as quickly or as freely as once we did. So this is an important thing to factor in, that this, if it's a problem now, it's going to be more of a problem in the very foreseeable future.
That's right, and I've been saying to people, this is for 10 years.
Yes.
And people with disabilities, it's like, and I relate it to many of our servicemen and women have served overseas for peace and for freedoms, and to come back into their own country. And, it's to me, it's almost like their freedoms have been taken away from them. So we cannot let that happen, but it's not just older people that have disabilities with walking too. There's younger people. So, and if they aren't on the internet or unable to come to the meeting, just ring up council and they will give you my details, to contact myself. I'm happy to meet with anybody anywhere.
Oh, you're great.
Or I will leave their number. I will phone them back because I'm on cell phone. I know it costs a lot of money for some people to ring up, and I don't mind phoning because I'm on a
one of those plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I would really like, as many people as possible to come down tonight, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Senior Citizens Hall in Ocean Road, Paraparaumu Beach.
Indeed, we've got to get this one right. The beach bylaw, very, very important. Kathy Spiers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Once again, you're a mine of information.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
106.3 Beach FM.